What's up, everybody? Welcome to Make Things Tiny. My name is Mick, and today we're talking to Karla. Karla is the owner of Bohemia Villas in Texas. It's a tiny house community in Texas. Karla's going to talk about their backstory, what got them interested in tiny houses, what made them decide to create the community, what it offers, the lot rent, all of that. So this is a really great video for those of you who are looking for either a short-term rental, so a chance to try out a tiny house because they offer short-term rentals, or you already have a tiny house or you're looking to get a tiny house and you want a long-term rental because they allow people to do long-term rentals, or you're just looking for a place to park your tiny house, either short-term and long-term, because they also allow you to bring your own tiny house as well too. So I'm excited for you guys to meet Karla and to learn more about the community. Before jumping into this conversation, I just want to say for those of you who are new to the channel, please take time to subscribe. If you hit the subscribe button at the bottom of your screen, it helps me out a ton, helps me to continue to grow this wonderful community of people here at Make Things Tiny and do what I love, which is bring you great content and talk about tiny houses. So if you tap the notification bell, it'll let you know when I drop new videos, and I drop new videos every single week. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this tiny house community in Texas. All right, so I'm here today with Karla. Karla is the owner of Bohemia Villas in Texas. Karla, thank you so much for being on the channel today. I'm super excited to talk to you and just learn more about you and give people a chance to learn about you and to learn about what you're doing with your tiny house community. If you don't mind, just start just talking a little bit about like your background, what got you interested in the tiny homes, and then we'll go from there.
Yes. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share my story with your audience. I really appreciate it. But I have a background in real estate. So I've tried the house flipping, being a realtor, all of that. So I have over 10 years of experience in that. But I got into the tiny house movement back in like around 2016, 17. I started seeing a lot of YouTube videos actually about, the movement. And it was just something that like, it made sense, especially with the affordability issues and, reducing our carbon footprint. And it just had so many benefits that I just became obsessed. So I just started learning and researching a lot about tiny homes, and I became more interested in the business side of it. How to like build a business and build a community. So I learned over a couple of years on how to do it, and I decided to take the plunge, and the rest is history. So yeah.
That's awesome. I think you touch on a couple things with like the housing crisis and like just things being more affordable. And I think now we're seeing, people gravitate towards tiny houses in like, larger numbers than ever before. So it is a great time to just sort of be, involved in the industry and, get to give people a place where they feel at home. Can you talk a little bit about like when the community started and like what the community offers?
Yes, absolutely. So I began building La Bohemia Villas in like the summer of 2019. So right before the pandemic hit, I had started building the infrastructure. I had ordered the first tiny house. So that's how it started. Just one little tiny house out in towards East Texas, and I actually got to live in it and experience, living in a tiny house, which is very important, I think, as a business owner to know, what everyone really is going to be living like, in the tiny home. So I got that opportunity, and since then, I developed 9 lots on the property. I have 3 tiny homes on the property. One of them is owned by a tenant, and I have 2 rentals. So I do offer a mix of options for people. So either you bring your own house, or you can rent one that I have available. I do have some lots, like I said, that are ready to go. So if anyone's looking, definitely reach out. But yeah, I mean, we have a dog park. I have 2 Chihuahuas, so that was definitely important for people to be able to have a space, an enclosed space for their puppies to run around. We have a community like area where you can maybe have like grill out or just hang outdoors. And yeah, I mean, our property sits on 4.5 acres. So if you want to, take a walk, you can definitely do that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really quiet. It's really nice. we're not too far from another tiny house community down the road. So
Okay.
we do have a lot of people to reach out to out there and make friends with. So it's really wonderful.
That's awesome. I feel like that's a really good point to make too, because I feel like people that are interested in going tiny and want to live in communities, they don't want to lose what you would get in sort of like a traditional housing community setting where you still have, be able to walk and go outside, like meet your neighbors, dog parks, pools, all those different things allow people to come together and connect and not feel as isolated. So I think that it's really great that you offer that and that you're near another community as well too.
Yes, absolutely. It is important to have that sense of community, to not feel like you're alone, to be able to reach out, even if you need a cup of sugar. So having those kinds
Yeah.
of neighbors. We actually have an awesome neighbor down the road that grows his own vegetables and fruits, and he comes down with his tractor, and he'll have them with him, and he offers them to our tenants. So it's just a really, really great place to be for sure.
It sounds like a lovely location. That's really awesome.
It is.
I know that. So what did you learn since you said that you lived in a tiny house like beforehand? Like, what do you feel like was the biggest takeaway for you, like living in it, and then how did you translate that into your community?
Well, I mean, I honestly I was surprised.
Mm.
I have park models on the property,
Okay.
so it was a really great experience. I grew up in the city. I know it was the first time actually living out, in rural Texas, and I loved it. I've lived in small apartments here in Dallas, so
Mm.
efficiencies, and it didn't feel different to that. So the bedroom that is in those homes fits a queen size bed, so I was happy. So I was really happy living there. So yeah, a lot of people have this idea that tiny homes are like super tiny and you can't fit anything, but there are definitely a lot of like great models that where you don't feel like you're cramped or super enclosed. So yeah, I mean it was really a good experience to learn that I did in fact have space for everything that I needed. And of course, I spent a lot of time outside doing a lot of landscaping and just being out with the puppies. So yeah, I mean it was just like the best of both worlds. Having a small place that's efficient, that houses all of my things that I need, and then also being out in nature where I can see the deer and the hawks and all kinds of really cool animals that you don't see here in the city. So yeah, I mean I really once I lived in one and experienced it, I knew that people were gonna really, really enjoy it too.
That's cool. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. And then, it also gives people some reassurance, like peace of mind, like when they go to, move their tiny house into your community or, they want to rent from you that they know that you've like sort of experienced things firsthand. So I think that that probably gives people a sense of, like, okay, like they know what they're talking about. Like this is a good spot for me. So I think that's a good experience that you were able to do beforehand. I'm assuming not everybody does that beforehand, so that was a good opportunity for you.
Yes, it really was. Yes.
So for all the people that are watching, they're super excited and they want to come check out the community, or maybe they're thinking about buying a tiny house and they're not sure where to put it. What would be the process of joining your community? What are the different like fees that they'd have to pay? Like, what does that sort of look like for people?
Yeah, sure. So if anyone's interested, even doing like a virtual tour or coming down and visiting, those are two options. So they can take a look at the property. And yeah, I mean, all they would have to do is just reach out to me. If you go to the website, there's the contact information. So it's labohemiavillas.com. So yeah, there's all the contact info. Just, shoot me an email, call me. My phone number's on there. I was like, not ever the whole world will be calling me, right? I hope so. But yeah, just give me a call, shoot me a text. And yeah, so right now monthly rentals are $5.95 per month, but we do include utilities for one
Okay.
person. So that's going to be, water, electricity, trash, septic. We have a landscaper that comes and takes care of the property. So it's really all inclusive. And, if there would be an application fee, of course,
Mhm.
but I do waive that sometimes if people already have their their tiny home and they're ready to go. Yeah, we can definitely work on that. But yeah, it's just $5.95 per month, all included. Now, if you've never had a tiny house and you're trying to figure out like what other expenses other than the lot fees,
Sure.
you will have to contact like an electrician to come and hook your tiny house up to our electricity panels. So that would be one expense, and then a plumber to connect you to our septic. But those are the main two things that you would have to, come out of pocket with once you are ready to connect your tiny house and set it up. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's not too bad. And you said there's how many lots available right now?
We have 6 lots available.
6 lots. Okay, great. That's great. And what would you say is sort of like, you're kind of touching on this a little bit, but what would you say for the people that are watching that are interested in going tiny? They know they want to live in a community. What are some of the main things you think that they should sort of like keep in their mind as they sort of like make this transition and sort of like take the plunge, so to speak?
Well, I mean, we spoke about affordability. I think everybody has different goals. I know that,
Mhm.
people, some people do it for financial freedom. Other people just do it simply to downsize and just, not have as many things. I know minimalism is definitely also on the uptake, gives us a freedom to move around and, spend our money on other things like experiences.
Mhm.
So yeah, just really think about what your personal goals are, why you're doing it. If it's affordability, there are so many great builders out there where you can get a tiny house for under 40,000. I know a lot of people, are blessed and they're able to buy like really, fancy tiny homes that are like,
Yeah.
6 figures. Yeah, but no, there. If you search, I know one, that actually you're able to get a tiny house on wheels for about 35,000. So call me and I'll give you the details on that one. But they're here in Texas, and yeah, I've been talking to them a lot about their products, and they seem to be really great. So yeah, I mean, if you want to make it about affordability, there are options out there. And yeah, I mean, if it's about just you wanting to be just experience a tiny house, and maybe later on you buy it and then later on you rent it out to someone. I mean, there's so many things you can do. Just kind of open your mind, because the tiny house can be so many things. Your own home, it could be a rental, it could be an Airbnb, just so many options. It's really cool.
Mhm. I think that's really great advice to sort of like think about the affordability piece. I would say it is worth the work to just do some research because there are so many builders out there. You can check. I mean, you can put a Google search in there, but I always suggest that people go to social media, like go to Instagram, where you can see the builds. Like go to come to the YouTube channel. I've got plenty of builders here on this channel. Like you can, some builders have their own YouTube channel, so there's a lot of options you can do for like making sure that you know who's going to build your house and then trying to stay on budget and stuff like that too. But yeah, I think that's really good advice for people just to try not to get discouraged because ultimately they're trying to do something to you know live a different quality of life than maybe what they have now.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Just keep looking, and you'll find what you're looking for. That's for sure.
Mhm. And hopefully that is where that's what you have. Hopefully they find what they come to check out what you're doing, and they maybe they should stay for like a few nights and then they fall in love with it and they bring their tiny house. That would be really awesome for people too.
Yeah, and Texas is where it's at, y'all.
Yeah. No, it is definitely it's definitely like been especially the Dallas area. It's been growing a lot in the past few years. And I think that people are sort of, especially people that work from home are thinking, like I can live anywhere. Maybe it's worth it to try something new and move somewhere new and then also, downsize and live like a different, sort of like slower, cheaper, you know, less money over, in terms of your monthly spending. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking time to chat with me. And I think it's going to be really cool for people to get a chance to see, what you have to offer.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
Awesome.
thank you
Cool.
so
Thank
much,
you.
Mike, for having me. And yeah, anything you need, just let me know.
All right, so that's my conversation with Karla. I appreciate Karla taking us through just sort of like their history with being in real estate, why they got into tiny homes, their experience living in a tiny house, now that translated into their community in La Bohemia Villas, just sort of what they offer. It's a really affordable sort of lot rent. They've got great amenities. They're in a wonderful area. They're near another tiny house community, so you can make neighbors within your community and outside your community as well, which is really great. They're outside of Dallas, which is a hub, so that's a great opportunity for people too. So make sure you check out their website, their socials, reach out to Karla, send them a phone call, a text, an email so you can learn more about the community and hopefully find your new home, your new vacation vacation spot, that sort of thing. So thank you again, Karla, for chatting with us. And if you're new to the channel, please do take time to subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And tap the notification bell. You find out when I drop new videos. I drop new videos every single week. Please don't hesitate to send me an email at makethingstiny@gmail.com if you have questions, you want to work together, you think there's someone I should reach out to have on the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to think tiny.